thought I would take this opportunity just to video just a little feel-good practice, nothing too intense, but something to move our bodies, to kind of get back into our bodies and to just tune into where we are. You can see that I've got 2 blocks and a strap that I might utilize during this next, I don't know how long it's going to be, we're going to see. You can, if you don't have a strap, any kind of like scarf or even towel will work as well. If you don't have blocks, you could use books or even cereal boxes. Don't push on too hard though. So we're going to do a little bit of work today in our hips, and we're going to do a little bit of work in our shoulders. Just kind of opening the shoulders up and maybe taking some different movements than we're used to. We'll take just a couple of moments to settle in, so you can find a comfortable seat, or if you would prefer, you could stand. You can also do this lying down if you would like. So I just want to take a moment to kind of notice the breath. Our breath is something that we do every day without really thinking about it. We're breathing in and out all the time, but it is something that we can control. It also really helps to keep us healthy. So our breath is really important. They say that we don't utilize even a part of what our complete lung capacity is. So we're going to take a moment as we're settling in just to deepen our breath and kind of feel where our breath is. So I'd like you to take your hands and either place them on your chest, or you can place your hands kind of around the top of your rib cage or the middle of your rib cage, just so that you can kind of find a feeling of connecting in when you're breathing in and out. And so you can close down the eyes if you would like. It's up to you. And just start to breathe. And perhaps you can breathe in and out through the nose. You could breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. It's up to you. But just take a couple of moments here to feel the chest expand and then contract. And see if you can maybe make that breath just a little bit deeper. Maybe send it a little bit farther down, almost into the belly. Let you do this for a couple of moments here. Maybe take one more on your own, and then when you've completed that last breath, you can let your hands come down onto the knees. Maybe tuck the chin into the chest for a moment. Stretch out the back of the neck. Beautiful. Keeping your chin down low, take your left ear over towards your left shoulder. Keeping the chin down, turn to the side, right ear, right shoulder. Beautiful. Keeping the chin down, come back to center, and then let the chin come parallel to the floor. And turn your eyes over your left shoulder. Doing some gentle movement through the neck here. Chin back forward and parallel, and then over the right shoulder. Chin back forward, and then let your head fall back any amount. It might not be a huge amount here. We're just stretching out the front of the neck. But if that bothers your neck, I don't want you to go back too far. And then gently come back to center. Release the hands off the knees and take the hands out, and then we're just going to circle the wrists for a moment. So the wrists sometimes are an area that we don't tend to stretch. It's really nice when you're doing any kind of a yoga flow or Vinyasa class. We use our wrists quite a bit. Go ahead and switch directions. So it's nice to kind of warm them up a little bit. Beautiful. And then reach one hand forward and flip your palm up like you're telling someone to stop. Take your other hand and then pull those fingers gently back towards your face. So we're stretching out kind of the bottom of the forearm. Release that, and then let the fingertips come down, and then again pull the fingertips back towards the body. Beautiful. We'll switch sides. So again, flip the palm forward, and then pull the fingers back. And release the fingers, flip them down, and again pull them back in towards the body. Beautiful, and then gently just shake the wrists out for a moment. Let the hands come down by the side. We're going to lie down on our backs, but I want to show you first how I'd like your legs to be. So if it's okay in your hips, we're going to find a Supta Baddha Konasana. So that's bringing the soles of the feet together, kind of having the butterfly shape in the legs. Now I want you to realize that the closer your heels are into your body, the more you'll kind of feel the stretch in the inner groin. The hips aren't quite warmed up yet, then let the heels come farther away from the body. This is a place where you can also have the blocks or some kind of boxes underneath your knees if you'd like a little support. Or you can always have a block underneath the feet if your hips are really open and you'd like to come in just a little bit further. So plant the feet and hold on behind the back of the thighs first. Slowly lower yourself down. And let the soles of the feet connect and let the knees come out wide for a moment. Maybe you place one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. So we're just beginning to kind of passively let our hips start to open. We have a little external rotation here. Again, you should never be pushing this to a point of pain, especially so early on in practice. We're just allowing things to happen here. So find a softness. And in fact, if you feel too much stress, again, just move those feet a little bit away from the body. We'll take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale, and release. Keeping the left leg exactly as it is, just very gently hug the right knee into the chest. So create just a little bit of compression there, maybe interlacing the fingers over the front of the shin, or you can just hold on here with one hand. Maybe you move the hip around a little bit of the joint if that feels okay. You're doing that, circle in both directions. Beautiful, and then release the right leg, let it come back down, the feet meet. We'll take the other side, let the left knee hug into the chest. Again, creating just a little compression in the front of the hip flexor here. And then any kind of movement that feels good in your body, kind of stirring that joint around. Taking it both ways. Beautiful. Releasing that left leg down again to meet the right. So again, Supta Baddha Konasana, just for a moment. Let's let the arms come up over the top of the head. You can reach them long or bend the elbows and wrap fingers around opposite elbows here. So just taking the arms up and feeling a little bit of expansion here in the chest. We're going to start to get into the shoulders and warm them up. Beautiful. Releasing the elbows, let the arms circle around to the outsides of the knees, and then very gently hug the knees in, or close them, and then hug them into the chest. Rock a little left and right on your spine. If that feels good. It kind of massages the sacrum, the lower back. Beautiful. And from here, you can cross your ankles if you would like. Hold on behind the back of the thighs. Take a couple rocks up and down. If this doesn't feel good on your spine, feel free to skip it. Eventually, we're going to rock up over and we're going to find ourselves in a tabletop position. So either rocking up over the knees or you can simply sit to the side. Turn around and face this way. Okay, so neutral tabletop position, our hands and knees. So my hands are underneath my shoulders, my knees are underneath my hips. Spine is in neutral here. So we're going to take a couple rounds of cow and cat to warm up our spine. As you inhale, drop the belly, look up, tailbone up. Exhale, chin to chest, really press the earth away and round the spine. You're tilting the tailbone down. As you inhale, drop the belly, look up, tailbone up, cow pose. And exhale, chin to chest, press the earth away, round the spine. This is cat. One more time like this. As you inhale, drop the belly, look up, tailbone up, spine in extension. And then exhale, chin to chest, press the earth away, round the spine. This is spine inflection. Beautiful. We come back to our neutral spine, and for a moment, we're going to let our knees come a little bit wider. Let the big toes touch. You can sit your hips back and find child's pose. Now, if child's pose is not for you, know that you can have a blanket underneath the knees. You could also use a blanket behind the calves and the thighs to create a little bit more space there for a supported child's pose. Just going to be here for a couple of breaths. So reach the arms forward for a moment. Just keep it a little bit active. So we're stretching out the shoulders. And then from here, let your elbows come down and then see if you can bring your hands together. And then slowly begin to bring the hands to the back of the head. So we're kind of finding prayer behind the back of the head or the nape of the neck. From here, you can begin to walk the elbows forward a little bit if you'd like, and then let the hips kind of traction back. So this stretch should be felt in the triceps. We want to lengthen those triceps out. Just take a couple more breaths here. Beautiful. Release that. Let the hands come back down, and we'll come back into tabletop for a moment. So we're going to add those two motions together of that cat-cow with child's pose and tabletop. So we're going to roll through it. So you'll inhale, drop the belly, look up, tailbone up. Again, this is cat. Exhale, chin to chest, press the earth away, round the spine, cat, and then gently sit your hips back towards your heels. Beautiful. Bend into the elbows, look forward, come all the way through into cow pose. And then exhale, chin to chest, round the spine, sit back towards child's pose. We'll do this one more time. Bend the elbows, come through, and then find cow. Exhale, chin to chest, round the spine, sit back into your child's pose. Beautiful. Coming back up to our neutral spine. From here, as you inhale, lift your right arm up, and we're going to bring our right arm just straight out from our shoulder. I don't want you to stress the shoulder here, so I'd rather just have it at shoulder height. If you're really open and it doesn't bother you, you can lift it up a little higher. We'll take a breath here and exhale. And then inhale, think about opening up just a little bit more. And then as you exhale, hug that right arm underneath you. Kind of take your hands to your shoulder blade and maybe walk them up so it's like you're giving yourself a hug. And then look up towards the sky if that's okay on your neck. We're going to do this 2 more times. As you inhale, release. Again, arm, shoulder height. Exhale, give yourself a hug. Beautiful. Inhale one more time, open it up. And then exhale again, give yourself a hug. Maybe walk those fingers a little bit closer to the spine. Maybe you're even holding onto the shoulder blade. Beautiful. Release that. Again, bring the right arm out. And then let the right hand come down onto the mat. We'll take the other side. As you inhale, lift the left arm up. And again, just shoulder height here. We want to protect the shoulders. We don't overdo it. You can lift the hand up a little bit higher if you'd like as you inhale. And then as you exhale again, left arm underneath, give yourself a hug, and walk the fingertips up and look up towards the right, if that's okay on your neck. Open it up as you inhale. Exhale, hug it in. One more time, inhale, open it up. And exhale, hug it in. Beautiful. Inhale, open it up to the side. And then as you exhale, bring your left hand back down onto the mat. Bring your knees together and then sit your hips down onto your heels for a moment. Walk your hands gently back and just begin to open the chest a little bit here. So keep the chin parallel. We don't want to take the neck into this. We're just opening the chest. Beautiful. Release that, come forward. Let's take a shoulder roll. Inhale, bring your shoulders up towards your ears. And then as you exhale, gently let them drop down away. So lengthening the sides of the neck. Let's do that again. As you inhale, lift your shoulders up. And then exhale, drop them down and back. Beautiful. And from here, we'll come back into our tabletop position. And then we're going to come into a downward facing dog. So we're going to walk one handprint forward, tuck your toes, and lift your hips up high into downward facing dog. So the body here looks like an upside down letter V. begin to pedal the feet back and forth, bending the knees one at a time, just stretching it out for a moment here. Beautiful, and then you find your stillness and see if you can relax in the shoulders so the ears are even with the biceps. So you might be looking up towards your thighs. Know that you can take a nice deep bend in your knees. What's important is that your tailbone lifts up, so the knees can stay bent here. The hamstrings are open enough, you can begin to straighten the legs. The heels approach the earth, but they never have to touch. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale, and release. Look forward, walk your toes forward to the top of the mat. Take your time here and keep a nice bend in the knees. So we're finding our first forward fold, or Uttanasana. The fingertips could be down or your hands could be on blocks here. Bending the knees takes it out so much of the hamstrings so we're not overdoing it, and it allows us to let the lower back relax a little bit here. Maybe you hold on to opposite elbows, take ragdoll pose, wrapping the fingers around the elbows. Beautiful. Let the hands come back down. From here, we're going to lengthen the spine by taking a halfway lift. Slide your hands onto your shins and then begin to lift your shoulders up. Keep that bend in the knees for this first one. So our goal here is to have our hips and our shoulders even, lengthening the spine. Yes, belly is towards the earth, collarbones wide. Then exhale and fold. We'll do that again. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Keep the knees bent. Slide the hands onto the shins. Lift up and lengthen. Exhale and fold. One more time. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Beautiful. And from here, bring your hands onto your hips. Keep your knees bent and just slowly rise up. As you begin to straighten your legs, reach your arms forward and up so you don't get lightheaded. And then exhale, hands to heart, Samasthiti. Beautiful. You can feel down through the feet for a moment. Let's take mountain pose or Tadasana, so let the arms come down by the side. Feet are about inner hips width distance. Let the palms spin forward, and again, the sides of the neck are long. Take a moment here just to roll around on the feet. Feel the stability of the feet attached to the mat, whatever you're standing on. Circle it a little bit the other way. Beautiful. We're going to continue to warm up our shoulders here and take some motions for the shoulders. So go ahead and come to stillness. And as you inhale, reach your arms forward and up. Beautiful. And as you exhale, spin the palms forward and then let the arms come down by the side. Beautiful. As you inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Spin the palms forward and exhale, let the arms come down. So just moving into the shoulders a bit. As you inhale, lift the arms up. And then exhale, flip the palms open to the side. Beautiful. One more time. We're going to inhale, reach the arms up. This time, bend into the left elbow and let the hand come down almost as you're patting yourself on the back. Take the left hand to the right elbow, or right hand to the left elbow. There we go. And gently take a little tricep stretch here. So not too much splaying of the ribs here. Keep your core engaged. Kind of press your hips forward so you're not feeling this in your lower back. Beautiful. And let's release and take the other side. So bend into your right elbow. Take your left hand to your right elbow. Right hand like you're patting yourself on your back. And again, a little tricep stretch. Keep the core engaged by pressing the pelvis gently forward. Beautiful. Gently release the arms and inhale, reach them up. This time as you exhale, we're going to cactus the arms. Yes. You can create your own little bit of resistance here. And then see if you can bring your elbows back a little bit. So again, we're opening the heart here. Always have that gentle bend in the knees. And again, the core is a little engaged here. You don't want to feel it in the lower back. Beautiful. Bring the elbows and the forearms together. And then hands to heart center, Samasthiti. Beautiful. Release the arms down and then inhale, reach them up. We're going to take a gentle side stretch. Bring your right hand down, reach your left fingertips up and across. Use the support of this hand so that you don't go too deep here. Inhale, rise up, and let's take it to the other direction. exhale again, we're gonna cactus the arms. Yes. Now let the arms come down by the side. If you can, reach around and interlace the fingers. And this might be a place where we need our strap or scarf. If you can't interlace the fingers, it's okay. Just hold something behind your back. So again, we're looking for that chest opening here. You're able to interlace the fingers. See if you can press the palms together, and then just gently let that fist come down towards the earth, opening the chest here. You could tuck the chin into the chest for a little stretch at the back of the neck, or you could let the chin lift up to stretch the front of the neck. Beautiful, and then gently let the chin come parallel to the floor. Bend into the knees. You can keep your bind if that's okay, and slowly begin to fold forward. So keep the arms resting on the body on the way down. The stomach touches the thighs, and again, we have a nice deep bend in our knees. Relax the head and neck down. Maybe nod the head yes, shake the head no. And then to your own ability, if you'd like, you can begin to let that fist move away from your body. So wherever your shoulders are, and maybe they don't come this far or even half this far, that's okay. Still be holding on to something if you'd like. Beautiful. And we'll release the fingertips down onto the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Again, slide the fingers onto the shins. And exhale and fold. As you inhale, slowly begin to roll up. So keep the head and the arms heavy. Still bend the knees. As your shoulders begin to come up, I want you to bend into your elbows and start to lift your elbows up. So kind of like a marionette doll, poked onto the elbows. Lift the elbows as high as you can, then flip the palms forward. So we're back into our cactus arms. Yes. Take a little back bend here, and then reach the arms up over the top of the head, and exhale, hands to the heart center. Beautiful. We're going to do that one more time. I'm going to face forward this time. Release the arms down, and then inhale, reach them up. As you exhale, hands through heart center, forward fold. As you inhale, hands slide to the shins, take a halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale and fold. Again, the arms and the head stay heavy here, so begin to roll yourself up. As your shoulders come over your hips, that's when you start to bend into the elbows. Keep the fingers heavy, and just see if you can start to lift the elbows up over the shoulders. They might not come out that high. And then as you're ready, flip the palms forward, find your cactus. Lengthen the collarbones. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, hands come back to heart center. Beautiful. We're going to warm up our hips a little bit here with a chair pose variation. So you have the option here. The feet can be hips width distance, or the big toes can touch. It's up to you. So begin into Dasana pose here with the palms down by the side. Figure out your feet. Know that you can always change it as we're going through here. So warming up the hips a bit. Bring hands to heart center. Bend into the knees and sit your hips back for a moment. Yes, as you look down, your hips are back, so you should be able to see your toes. And then as you inhale, stand up. Let the arms come down by the side to Dasana. Exhale, sit down, chair pose, Utkatasana. Beautiful. Inhale, rise up, mountain pose. Beautiful. This time we sit down into chair pose, Utkatasana, and we hold for a moment. So again, feet can be together or hips width distance. Again, we're going to take a little bit of work for the arms here. So today, instead of reaching the arms forward, I want you to reach them out to either side and then start to take them back a little bit. So kind of like airplane arms, but the palms are forward to begin. Inhale here. As you exhale, spin your palms towards the back of the room. Yes, inhale, spin the palms forward. The elbows can be a little bent here if you'd like, and as you exhale, spin the palms back. So just taking this different shoulder rotation. Inhale, spin them forward. One more time, exhale, spin them back. Beautiful. Inhale, spin them forward. Reach the arms forward this time for a moment. And then as you exhale, reach the arms all the way back. We're coming into half chair, so sit down just a little lower. And then hands come down, find your forward fold. Yes, in this forward fold for a moment, just bend into each opposite knee one at a time. And again, the hands might touch the earth, or they might be on a block here for support. We're going to open the chest just a little bit more. So place the right hand either in front of the face on the mat. You could tent the fingertips, or the hand could be on a block. I want you to bend fairly deeply into your right knee. Bring your left hand onto your left hip. Turn the left elbow up first. Then begin to turn the gaze up towards the sky. And from here, if you'd like, you could reach the left arm up. So just taking a little bit of a deeper twist. Inhale here. As you exhale, forward fold. We'll take the other side. Again, the left hand could be onto the earth or on a block. Bend into the left knee. Right hand, right hip. Again, turn the elbow up first. Then the gaze. And then if you'd like, reach the fingertips up. Beautiful, and forward fold. We're going to do that one more time each side with a different variation if it works in your body. So right hand down, bend into the right knee. Again, left hand onto left hip. Turn left elbow up, then the gaze. Maybe you reach your left arm up. If you would like, I want you to spin your palm towards your right leg. And then bring that left hand behind your back. So the back of your hand is touching your back, not your palm. Your palm is out. And maybe you just inch those fingers a little bit up, if you can feel that stretch. Doesn't work in your body, keep it down a little bit lower. Maybe pressing your elbow towards your body. Beautiful, release that bind, reach the arm up and then bring it back down. Left hand down, bend into the left knee, right hand, right hip. Again, elbow up first, then the gaze. Then we reach up. And now we spin that palm towards your left leg. Bend into the right elbow and bring that hand behind your back. So again, the back of my hand is touching my back here. Now depending on where you are, you can start to kind of inch your fingers up. You can also start to bring the elbow a little bit closer to the body, bringing them over. Depends on where your shoulder is. Beautiful, let's release that bind. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale, forward fold. Beautiful. From here, inhale, take a halfway lift. Fingertips touch the shins. Exhale and fold. We're going to step our left foot all the way to the back of the mat. And then bend into that right knee. Fingertips can be down here, or your hands could be on blocks. For a moment here, just bend into the knee, bring the chest forward as you inhale. And then as you exhale, straighten your legs and fold. Just bringing a little movement in. Bend into that right knee, come forward, look forward. And exhale, straighten the legs, lift the hips up. One more time, bend into that right knee, come forward. And exhale, lift the hips up, gentle fold. Beautiful. Rebend into that front knee, come forward. Keep your left hand down, reach the right arm up to the sky. So we're just taking an easy twist here. Inhale. And then as you exhale, hug your right arm around your right leg. So like you're giving yourself a hug. Yes. Inhale, lift it up. And exhale, hug it in. Maybe you feel that stretch in the shoulder blade. Inhale, lift it up. One more time. Exhale, hug it in. Beautiful. Inhale, lift it up. And as you exhale, let that right hand come down onto the earth. We're going to step the right foot back to meet the left. So we're in our first high plank that we've taken today. We're going to bring our knees down onto the mat and untuck our toes. And slowly bend into the elbows, lower all the way down onto the belly. From the belly, let's bring the elbows out wide and stack the palms for a moment. So this is crocodile pose. Just take a breath, take a moment here. Beautiful. We're going to work a little bit into the back body here. So bring the hands underneath the shoulders. So we're going to find cobra pose. So the tips of your fingers should be even with the tops of the shoulders, and squeeze your elbows in. Now feet can either be hips width apart, or you can have them close together. It's up to you. You're going to press the tops of the feet into the floor. Not lifting up very much. We're going to find baby cobra. As you inhale, just gently lift up, and maybe you look up. So taking that back bend, and exhale, lower down. We'll take that again. As you inhale, lift up, cobra pose. And then exhale, lower down. One more time. As you inhale, lift up, pin the elbows in, Cobra Pose, Bhujangasana. And then exhale, lower down. Press your hands into the earth, lift up into tabletop, and then sit your hips back, child's pose for a moment. Beautiful. Come back up into tabletop position. Walk your hands, one hand forward, tuck your toes. We come back to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale here, and exhale. Inhale, look forward, in between your hands, come up high onto the toes. Bend into the knees, take a lot of little steps to get forward, take your time. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana, lengthen the spine. Exhale and fold. Inhale, rise up. We're going to do that elbow variation again. So keep the head heavy. Let the elbows start to rise. Maybe they come above the shoulders as the chin comes parallel. Flip the palms forward. Find your cactus arms. And then reach the arms up over the top of the head. And exhale, arms come down by the side. Beautiful. This time as you inhale, just reach your arms out and around. And exhale, if you'd like, swan dive down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Plant your hands, step your right foot to the back of the mat. This time, this is supported high lunge. So the hands could be on blocks here, or again, just onto the fingertips, it's up to you, warming up the hips. As you inhale, look forward, chest forward, bend a little bit more to that front knee. And as you exhale, straighten the legs any amount. Fold. Beautiful. Bend into that front knee, come forward. We're just bringing a little motion and glide into the hips. And as you exhale, lift the hips up. This can be a very small movement if you'd like. Bend into the front knee, come forward, inhale. And as you exhale, straighten those legs and fold. Bend into the front knee, come forward. We come into our twist, so keep the right hand down and reach the left arm up. The gaze can follow if it likes. If it bothers the neck, you don't have to. Inhale, reach. And as you exhale again, we find that hug in. Left arm hugs the left thigh. Inhale, reach up. Exhale and hug. One more time. Inhale, reach up. And exhale and hug. Beautiful. Inhale, reach up. Bring the left hand down onto the mat. Step the left foot back to meet the right. And again, we bring our knees down and untuck our toes. Bend the elbows back towards the body, lower all the way down onto the belly. This time when you reach the belly, let the arms come forward in front of you. So the forehead can be down, you can turn your head to the side if you would prefer. We're going to do a little bit of variation of locust pose here. So as you inhale, lift your right arm and left foot any amount off of the mat. The head can lift a little bit too if it likes. And exhale, lower down. Beautiful. Left arm lifts up, right leg, and lower down. So kind of as if you're swimming, opposite leg and arm. Lift right arm, left leg. Beautiful. Lower down. One more time. Right leg, left arm. Beautiful. Slowly lower down. Now we're going to let the arms come out to either side and find that cactus shape here. Just for a moment. Beautiful. And then we'll let the arms swim behind us. And again, we have the option to find a bind here with the hands. Now, if that doesn't work for you, you can just reach the arms back and maybe even spin the palms up or to face one another. If you find the bind, fabulous. Lengthen the spine here first. As you inhale, we're going to lift the head, neck, and shoulders up. Maybe you stay here, or if you'd like, you can also lift the legs up. Yeah, so this is locust pose or Shalangbasana, just another back bend. We're working the back body. Inhale, lengthen the entire body here. Exhale, release down. Beautiful. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Press into the hands, come back up into your tabletop position. And then sit back into child's pose for a moment, just to release. Beautiful. We come back up into tabletop. And then again, adjust your hands if you need, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Take a breath in here. And exhale. Beautiful. Bring your knees down onto the mat for a moment. If you have a couple of blocks, this would be a good time to use them. We're going to do a little bit of a supported variation of upward facing dog. Now if you have up dog, you do it all the time and you don't need the blocks, that's fine, but I want to show you how to use it with the blocks. So in upward facing dog, our thighs are up off of the mat. Actually, the only thing that touches the mat are the palms of the hands and the tops of the feet. So it's a little bit of a deeper back bend. So what I'm going to recommend is if you do Cobra and you already feel a little bit of compression in your lower spine, I want you to stick with Cobra. You can also always take Locust, which I just showed you. But if the lower back feels good and you'd like just a little bit more expansion and chest opening or back bending, we're going to play with up dog. So we're going to measure these blocks so they're underneath your thighs. So have your toes tucked here and just bring yourself onto those measured blocks. So you want them kind of on the meaty part of your thigh, almost up into the frontal hip creases here. Beautiful. And then we're already in our up dog here. So the only thing we're going to do differently is we're going to flip our toes. So our feet are relaxed down, the shoelace part of the foot is on the mat. So as you inhale here, just draw your heart through. Chin can be parallel to the floor, and again, we drop the shoulders back or roll the shoulders back, so we're opening the chest. Beautiful. And then tuck the toes, and then lift your hips up into down dog. We're going to take this motion a couple of times, just taking a deeper back bend. Know that you can always come into Cobra if you would prefer. So as you inhale, come all the way forward, come into your upward facing dog. So the thighs come down onto the blocks, and then we untuck the toes, feel the stretch. Beautiful. And then tuck the toes, engage the core to lift the hips back up. We're going to do it one more time. As you inhale, come forward, we come right into up dog. So we're skipping chaturanga. Woohoo! And then flip the toes over, let the heart come through. From here, gently look over your left shoulder. Beautiful. Come back to center, look over the right shoulder. Beautiful. Come back to center. Again, tuck the toes under. Now navel into spine. Feel like you're being lifted up by your tailbone to come back into downward facing dog. Pedal it out a couple times if you'd like, and releasing that back bend. Beautiful. Bring the knees down onto the mat for a moment to remove the blocks off to the side. We're going to find a little bit of flow here. So eventually we're going to come back to our downward facing dog. Beautiful. And from here, inhale, lift your right leg high. So this is three-legged dog. Lift your heel up towards the sky to lengthen a bit. If you would like, you could bend the knee and open the hips. So we have the option here to open our hips a little bit. So the right heel is coming towards the left glute. See if you can turn the right shoulder back towards the mat. Beautiful. And then inhale, reach the right leg long. We're going to hug that knee into the chest. As we exhale, we're going to step that right foot in between the hands. Now, I know your right hand can help your foot to get there if you'd like. We've been here before, one time. As you inhale, chest lifts. As you exhale, straighten your legs and fold. Beautiful. Re-bend into that front knee, chest lifts. Left hand down, reach your right arm up, easy twist. One time inhale here. As you exhale, give yourself that hug. Inhale, reach up. As you exhale, bring your right hand down. We're going to now turn the left heel down. So we're looking for the knife edge of the left foot to be parallel to the back of the mat. So we're looking for warrior two legs here. Use your core muscles. As you inhale, rise up. Arms come parallel to the floor. So bend just a little bit deeper into that right knee. We're going to move this. As you inhale, straighten your front leg, lift your arms up, look up. I call this flying warrior. And then exhale, soften down, warrior two. Do that again. As you inhale, rise up, flying warrior. And as you exhale, soften down, warrior two. One more time. Inhale, reach up, flying warrior. And as you exhale, soften down, warrior two. Beautiful. This time we're going to take 5 pointed stars. So as you inhale, straighten your front leg, arms up, and then turn your heels in, toes out. Really find expansion here. Inhale. As you exhale, hands come into heart center and then gently begin to bend into the knees any amount. So we're finding goddess pose. Hands can come down onto the thighs for a moment. Keep the spine lengthened here. Beautiful. Inhale, reach the chest forward. As you exhale, drop your left shoulder down and look over your right. Inhale, come back to center. Other side, right shoulder down, look over the left. Beautiful. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, begin to come down into the center. Bring your hands down onto the mat. Now from here, we're just going to move a little right and left. So you can move your hands a little bit if you would like. So this is kind of just opening the hips and stretching things out. If you're really open and you'd like to come all the way down into Skandasana, you can do that. But if it doesn't feel good in your body, then skip it. Beautiful. And then come back to center. And then bring the hands onto the hips. So bend into both of your knees here. Lengthen the spine. Turn your elbows up towards the sky. So we're opening the chest. And then slowly begin to rise up. We'll straighten the legs out. We're going to find triangle pose. So turn the left toes towards the front, and then right toes are towards the side. Right toes turn towards the front. And you might need to step your left foot in a little bit. We don't need a really wide stance here. And then reach the arms out parallel. We're going to tick-tock the arms. So the right hand can either come onto the shin or the thigh, or you could have a block here for support in triangle pose. So it's more about the expansion here. And from here, again, we have the option to take that little bind with our hands. So flip your left palm so that it faces your back, and then start to bend into the elbow. Again, the back of the hand touches the back. You can begin to walk it up any amount if that feels okay. Very gently turning that left shoulder open even a little bit more. Beautiful. And then let's gently release that. Inhale, rise all the way up. Bring your hands to heart center, and we're going to turn forward towards our right toes and step our left foot in just a bit. Beautiful. From here, lift your right arm up towards the sky, and then bring the left arm around the back. We just had it here. So let the right hand now bend, or right elbow bend, so like you're giving yourself that pat on the back. Now I don't want you to actually bind your hands here. You can work your fingertips towards one another, but don't hold on to them. So just open the chest, keep the core engaged. Beautiful. And then as you exhale, release your arms up, and then exhale, cactus your arms. Bring the forearms together, palms towards the face, and then as you exhale, slowly begin to fold forward. So the hands can come down to either side of this right foot, or your hands could be on blocks. Find a little fold here for a moment. So this is Parsvottanasana or pyramid pose. Beautiful. From here, we'll take a halfway lift. Walk your fingertips forward underneath your shoulders, lengthen the spine. Bend into the right knee so you can step your left foot all the way to the back of the mat, and then step your right foot back to meet your left. So we're in our high plank. Again, we're going to lower the knees down and untuck the toes. We're going to lower all the way down onto the belly. We're going to have a variation of back bend here. So you can take cobra, locust, or up dog. As you inhale, lift up. I'm going to take cobra. And then as you exhale, lower down. Find your way back through tabletop. And then tuck your toes, lift your hips up high, downward dog. Do that same thing on the other side with some variations. Take a breath in, down dog here. This time as you inhale, lift your left leg high. So think about bringing your left heel up a little bit higher. Really feel the back of your leg fire up. And then bend into that left knee. Now the left knee points towards the sky. The left heel comes towards the right glute. And again, can you gently turn the left shoulder back towards the earth? Beautiful. Inhale here, reach the left leg long, three-legged dog. And as you exhale, look forward, step the left foot in between the hands. Hugging the navel in as you bring the knee forward. Again, the hands can come here to help. And one time, bend into that front knee, look forward. And as you exhale, straighten the legs, find a little bit of fold here. In modified pyramid. Rebend into that front knee, come forward. We take our twist, right hand down, reach your left arm up. One time here, inhale. As you exhale, give yourself a hug. Beautiful. Inhale, reach up. As you exhale, left hand comes down. We're going to turn that right heel down. So we've got heel to heel or heel to arch alignment. It's up to you. Use your core strength. You can also climb up here to then rise up into warrior two or Virabhadrasana 2. So widen the stance a little bit if you need. You want to try to stack this knee over the ankle. Nice bend in that front knee. And again, we're going to stretch it out. As you inhale, straighten that front leg, arms up, look up, flying warrior. And exhale, soften down, warrior two. Beautiful. Inhale, rise up, flying warrior. And exhale, soften down, warrior two. One more time. Inhale, rise up, flying warrior. And exhale, soften down, warrior two. Beautiful. Again, we find five-pointed star for a moment. So rise up, heels in, toes out to begin. Take a little bit of expansion. This time, bring your hands onto your hips, and we're going to switch the feet. So toes in, heels out. So we're going to move towards prasarita, or wide-legged forward fold. So the toes can point forward too if you'd like, but either they're forward or they're pointing inward. So it's opposite of goddess pose. Lift the chest to begin. Again, you can bring the elbows back if you'd like for that expansion. And then I want you to fold halfway. So we're keeping our spine in extension here. Don't round the spine. Beautiful. Once you come halfway, hands can come down onto the earth or a block. And this is yogi's choice here. So this is a nice stretch for the backs of the legs. So your hands can come down onto the earth. If you'd like, you could always walk your hands forward away from your body to have a little bit of traction and leverage here. Or you could walk your hands back to find a little bit more stretch in the back of the body. Always okay to have a gentle bend in the knees if you'd like. We'll stay here for a couple more breaths. We all meet in halfway lift. So bring your hands underneath the shoulders, and again, we're lengthening the spine. We bring our hands onto our hips, and we use our core strength. Again, the elbows could maybe point up, and then slowly begin to rise up. Beautiful. From here, we're going to find triangle pose. So you're just going to turn your right toes towards the front of the mat. And you can bring your left foot in a little bit. Actually, this is the same side we did last time, so I switched on you guys. Opposite, so left toes point forward, right toes parallel, and then reach your arms long, and we're going to find triangle pose. So the left hand could be onto the shin or the thigh, or find your block. Find expansion first. Well, and then we have the option to take that half bind. So spin your palm towards the back, bend into the elbow, and bring that hand around your back. And again, you might be creeping that hand up a little bit. See what feels good in your shoulder. Try to keep the shoulder away from the ear. And again, we're never taking this into a point of pain. Shoulders are very delicate. So just be patient, work slowly with them. Beautiful. We'll release that bind, reach the arm up, and then inhale, rise up. And again, we bring our hands to heart center, and let's turn towards the left toes. You can step that right foot in a bit. And as you inhale, let's cactus the arms for a moment. Beautiful. And again, we have the option here to bring the hands around the back and find that bind, or perhaps you're holding on to your scarf or strap. Press that fist away any amount, and then begin to hinge at the hip. Try to find halfway and then slow down to stay here for a moment. And then you can keep the bind and continue the fold, or you can release the hands on either either side of the foot or on blocks. I really like blocks for pyramid pose, so Parsvottanasana. I think it really helps you to actually lengthen more when you have blocks. Don't be afraid to use the props. Honestly, they actually help you get deeper into postures. Couple breaths here. Beautiful. As you inhale, take a halfway lift. So walk your fingertips forward underneath your shoulders. We're going to bend into the left knee, step the right foot back a little bit more, and then step the left foot back to meet the right. We're going to lower the knees onto the mat, untuck the toes, lower all the way onto the belly. Beautiful. This time, we're going to find Sphinx pose. So lift up enough to bring your elbows underneath your shoulders. So press your forearms and hands into the mat. The feet can be wider apart if you'd like. The heels should either be pointing up or falling away from one another. So we want to leave space for that sacrum. Now, if having the elbows under the shoulders bothers your lower back, I want you to walk your elbows farther forward. You could have a block underneath the chest for support here, or you could have a block underneath the forehead for support. We're going to be here for a couple of breaths. So Sphinx pose is a really, really nice heart opener. And it helps you with your posture, and it helps counter the fact that we tend to kind of round our spine and look down a lot from texting, working on computers, driving. Take one more breath here. Remove any props if you've used them. And then again, we're going to stack the palms and let the elbows come out wide for a moment in crocodile pose. Just resetting, neutralizing the spine. We're going to stretch it out next. So now let the hands separate and bring your forehead on the mat. And we're going to find cactus arms on the floor. So finding those cactus arms, again, this kind of opens the chest and is a different move for the shoulders. From here, just gently bend into your knees and let the soles of the feet come towards the sky. And then very gently begin to wave those legs back and forth. So we're just loosening the lower back here. We've done quite a bit of back bending, and we've done some work on the muscles around the spine. So this is a great way, especially if your lower back is feeling tight, just to safely loosen it. Beautiful. Stop into the center, let the legs come down onto the earth. Now the hands come underneath the shoulders. Let's press ourselves up to seated. So let the hips come back down onto the heels and come up for a moment. I'm going to move a little bit forward. Beautiful. Just sit on the heels for a moment. We're going to take a little twist here. So bring your left hand to the outside of the right knee. The right hand comes behind you and gently twist over the right shoulder. Beautiful. Gently coming back to center, take it the other direction. Beautiful. Releasing that, come back to center. Walk your hands behind you. Now this might not be a big movement, but we're going to open up the fronts of our hips. So press into your hands, or you could also press into blocks if your hands don't reach the earth. And just lift your hips up any amount. Just kind of taking a little stretch here. Keep your chin tucked down a little bit, not hard, but like parallel to the floor. We're not going to let the head come back. Beautiful. And then slowly lower down. Walk the hands back forward. And we're going to sit to the side and kick our feet out in front of us for a moment. I'm going to face you. So we're going to find Dandasana or staff pose. So let your legs come out long. You can remove any extra flesh away from the sits bones if you'd like. Know that you can also be sitting on a blanket or a bolster if you prefer. Beautiful. Bring the hands down by the side. Like I said, we're finding staff pose. So push the palms into the earth and straighten the arms. Now the key here is I want you to keep your shoulders away from your ears. So again, we're lengthening the sides of the neck. And see if you can just lift your entire spine up. So really lengthen the spine here. One more breath here. And as you exhale, release that. Begin to crawl the hands forward. You can tuck your chin into your chest. So we're going to take this as a rounded spine variation or spine inflection. So finding any form of forward fold here. I recommend you keep the hands to the side or let the palms come up. This is not really about holding onto the feet and trying to pull. This is more a softening today. So we're lengthening out the entire back side of the body. This is kind of, in yin would be called caterpillar pose. You could bring a block underneath the forehead if you'd like. You could have a bolster on your lap so that you could rest in it for a moment. We'll be here for a couple more breaths, just stretching out the back side of the body. Beautiful yogis, let the hands come down and then start to walk them back in towards the body. Beautiful. We're going to take a reverse tabletop. So I'm going to turn to the side to show you this one. So just bend into your knees and plant the feet. Hands are behind the body. And then as you inhale, just lift the hips up any amount. Doesn't have to be a huge amount. You can press them up if it feels good. Again, I kind of recommend keeping the chin tucked. I'm funny about my neck, but if you really want to, you can let the neck come back and take that a little bit deeper. Inhale here. Exhale, let's slowly lower the hips down. All right, we're going to take one more little shape here, and this more stretches out the outer hips. So this one's called deer pose. Oh, it's also called 90-90 or stag leg. So I'm going to mirror you. So you're going to take your left shin and kind of make it parallel to the front edge of the mat, because you're probably sitting the correct way on your mat. And then take the right knee and let it either be kind of out to the side, or you can let the right knee connect to the left instep if you'd like. It's kind of up to you. If it feels better for you to have this as a more open posture, feel free to do that. This is about your hips and where they are. So again, this is kind of stretching out more of this outer hip here. We have external rotation of the, what's your left hip, and you have internal rotation of your right hip. So it's your right outer hip that's stretching. You could stay lifted right here, or you could begin to fold over the front leg. Now maybe you come down onto your elbows, or you find a block. You can come down onto a block, or you can build yourself a little block stand for your forehead. Now I want you to stay here for just a moment, and then I'll give you the option instead to come over your left knee. So stay straight for a moment. You just are going to feel out where you feel compression in that front left hip. Beautiful. Now move yourself a little bit over to the side so that your body is kind of over your left knee, and see if that changes things for you. If you're more comfortable here, stay here. If you're like, oh no, I don't like that, then go back to where you were before. Just a couple more breaths here on this variation. We're gonna have one more option here. So our final option will be to take it even farther to the side into what more is like a deer twist. So again, the elbows could be down, or you could be lifted here and just twisting this way. So it's up to you. It'll kind of depend on where your flexibility is, where you articulate in your joints. Beautiful. Let the hands come back underneath the shoulders if you took that deeper twist, and then walk the hands forward. We're going to walk the hands behind the body and lean back. We're going to let the knees come up, and then we're going to let the feet come out wide and let the knees tent in for a moment. We're going to stretch this out by taking some windshield wipes. Very slowly letting one knee come down and then the other. Beautiful. And then eventually we're going to work into the other side. So this time that right shin is parallel to the short edge of the mat, and you're going to turn that left knee or left foot back. So the shoelace part of the foot should be down, or the side of the foot, that's okay too. And remember, this is going to kind of depend on where you are and what you're comfortable with. So that left knee could kind of be up in the right instep, and you're literally finding like a 90-90, or you have it a little bit more opened out to the side. That's absolutely fine too. So find what works for you, and I could have said this on the first side, but I'll say it now. If you want to flex the feet here, you can. You don't have to, but if it makes you feel safer, and especially it makes your knee feel more stable, then go for that. So know that you can stay lifted. You're already getting quite a bit of work done. So we have external rotation of the right hip, internal rotation of the left. And a lot of times you'll feel this IT fan piriformis on the left side. So staying here, or if you'd like a little more, beginning to fold forward. And again, blocks can be underneath the elbows. Maybe the elbows come to the earth. Or maybe you'd like to build yourself that little stand for your forehead. So we'll take a couple breaths here. This is our first stage that we're going to take. We have 3 stages, just like the other side. And notice if you feel this, where you feel it. Do you feel it as compression in your front hip or your right hip? Now we have that option to take it over the right knee. So just slowly kind of shift yourself over the right knee. Now for me, I find that helps me clear compression, so I can come down a lot farther. I cannot do that forward. So that's where my hip, the front of my hip, meets compression, which means I found bone on bone. And it doesn't matter how many times I knock on that door of bone on bone, that's not going to change. So I go to where I can go, and I'm okay with that. I stay there, because that's the maximum or ideal for my body. If you'd like to take this twist a little deeper, you'll lift up and take yourself to the side. Again, remembering you can stay lifted here in this twist, or bringing the elbows down onto a block, or maybe the elbows come all the way down. Taking this a little bit deeper into the outer hip, adding a little twist. If you're open enough, you are able to come all the way down. You can look towards your knees. You could also look towards the back of the room, if that's okay on your neck. Beautiful. And if you've taken that all the way down, bring the hands underneath the shoulders, help yourself back up, turn back forward. And again, we're going to find those windshield wipes. So release the legs, bring the feet out a little bit wider, let the knees tent in. And again, just begin those windshield wipes back and forth. Beautiful. Okay. So let the feet be hips width distance. We're going to roll down onto our backs now and just find a couple of nice stretches with some rolling bridges. So let your hands come to the back of your thighs and gently lower yourself down. And then the feet could come in a little bit closer towards your hips. In fact, your arms might reach down and touch your heels. Beautiful. And then from here, press into the soles of your feet and gently just lift your hips up any amount off the earth. So we're stretching out the fronts of the hips here. And then if it's okay on your shoulders, lift your arms up over the top of the head. This should feel good. And then exhale, slowly lower everything down. We'll do that again as you inhale, lift up, arms up over the top of the head. And then exhale, slowly lower down. Beautiful. One more time. As you inhale, lift your hips up, arms up over the top of the head. And then exhale, slowly lower it back down. We'll let the soles of the feet come together again and let the knees come out wide. So again, we're finding Supta Baddha Konasana. We're ending just as we began. So you can let the feet come a little bit farther away from the body again if it's too much. Maybe one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly, or maybe finding cactus arms out to the side. Since we've done quite a bit for the shoulders, if they're open, you could also see if you could lift your arms up and maybe find a diamond shape with your fingers kind of over the top of your head. If any of this is too much for you, just find where you're comfortable. Just take a couple breaths here. Beautiful, yogis. Let's go ahead and release that shape. Let the legs come out long on the mat. just for a couple of moments, find a Shavasana. And I know you can take a longer Shavasana if you would like. I'm going to pull you out and close, but you can just stay in your Shavasana and relax. I recommend, if you have the time to do so, you should. So maybe the heels are touching, maybe they're a little bit farther apart. You can let your palms spin up. Just take a moment for yourself, feel yourself connected to the earth. As you're ready to come out, you'll reach your arms up over the top of the head and take a nice full body stretch. And then begin to bend into the knees and roll over onto your left or right side. Find fetal position for a moment. Use your bicep as a pillow. Hugging your knees into the chest will stretch out the lower back even more. And as you're ready, press into your hands. Gently help yourself up to a comfortable seat. Beautiful, and I'll close this out with you. As you're ready, inhale, reach the arms up over the top of the head. Maybe you can look up, connect the palms as you exhale, hands to heart center. Yogis, thank you for practicing with me today through this little flow that we did. The light and love in me sees and honors the light and love in each of you. Please stay healthy, practice yoga, do things that you love. Namaste.